Hey everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Today we're going to do some garden updates. First of all, our lettuce is starting to grow. Actually, it looks like a radish type of a plant. What is it? I'm not even sure what that is anymore. We planted this stuff in the spring and now it's growing, finally. Our lettuce is starting to grow, finally. And various other things. I'm not even sure what they are. Up here, Melanie harvested a bunch of the onions, the chives. Our Swiss chard type plants are still growing well. Although, down here, kale is good still, but that didn't get enough sunlight this year, so a bad spot. Herb bed is okay. Down here, though, sorry for the mess, the wind is brutal and everything's being ripped around. Things didn't fare so well. The beans were still, oh, it's terrible. The beans were still flowering and bearing fruit and growing, but they got frozen last night. It was 27 degrees, 26, 27 degrees, so the beans didn't make it. There's some life in there, but it's just not worth it now to try. See, there was a lot of flowers in there and they were really trying to make it. So the beans, the green beans, are very hardy and it'll last longer into the season, so that's a very good thing. Very good. We've got a few we can still harvest. There's some in here, so we're gonna get out here and harvest these green beans, what's left. There's some of these plants, but see here, it was just too cold. They didn't make it. So that's the end of this garden. There's another one we can, well, it's somewhat frozen. We can cook them tonight. So they're all done. The kale is still good. Very good. And we've been eating kale very much all year. This is an incredible plant here. Very cold hardy, durable. Doesn't the heat didn't bother it. Amazing plant. Sandy soil. Amazing plant. So the green beans, see, it's going to take time. We're going to learn what grows best here through the years. So it's going to take time to figure out what plants are better. The potatoes we're still harvesting. The corn I finished. And this garden is done, except for the kale. This garden is done for the year. Now over here, and then I'm going to heavily mulch this garden this year and fertilize it with chicken manure. So that'll be pretty much cleared out now. Pretty much done. So I'll be doing that soon. Now over here, I removed all the tarps and stuff to allow the sun. We did have some sun, a little bit brighter today. I'm almost finished with the plants here. Except for the cabbage family and the kale again. These kale never did well. I don't know why. It's more fertile soil and a higher raised bed. Not sure though, they didn't grow much. Not exactly sure what these are. They also didn't do anything. The cabbage family are starting to rot. I think we'll just harvest what we have and be done with it. Little cabbage heads, one right here, because it is freezing now. And our lettuce though, although wilting, and our Swiss chard plants are still growing. So very good. The collard greens are okay. We did harvest the mustard. I see there's a couple more I can harvest. I pulled them all out by the roots and shucked them off into a container. The chilies got hurt, even though they were undercover, but look at this. Look at this. Now you remember I just harvested plants not long ago. Look at this. All these peppers. So I'm going to harvest all these. There's the red one down in here. That'll be hot, hot, hot. Here's this one rotted. It got frozen. But here's a green pepper. Nice green pepper. So we'll be clearing this. There's three green peppers. And a rotted red one and a baby one down in there. More jalapenos. Really good looking stuff out here right now. Much more hot peppers. I'm pretty sure this is the end though. They really took a hit last night. It was just too cold. It was in the 30s all day and freezing at night, and there's just nothing you can do then. This one had a lot of mutant peppers, so it bore a lot of fruit, but it was very mutated. I'll harvest what we have, but I don't know what to do with these weird ones. Here, my best plant of all. Beautiful big plant. I hate to see it at the end of the season. It's got some peppers on there. We'll be harvesting these. We've got some bell peppers over here. Look at that. Now remember, I just harvested a mess of these. Look at that. Look at that one. Look at that next to my hand. Really nice. So we'll harvest all that's left. I'll get out here with a container and we'll get them out. Here, that one got hurt, I guess. Or it was on too long, I don't know. Here's a few. That one did get hurt. We'll cook that up right away tonight. Some little ones. There's a nice big one again. And a little one that probably needs to be cooked right away. So, oh here, look at this. Look at these. Look at that, nice. So, our peppers did well this year. And they grew late into the season. So it was just too much cold last night. I left off weeding the garden. I gave up because we're going to cover all this with cardboard and compost and mulch when we're done. So we're going to completely cover everything throughout. A thick layer, destroy everything out here because this stuff has taken root underneath the ground and it has to be eradicated. It was just impossible because it has long runners and shoots up the plants from the runners. It was impossible for us to win over. Once it establishes itself, it's just, you can't win like that. So everything's going to be covered. Once we pull out the plants and put them in the compost bin, I'm going to get some cardboard. I'm working on my mulching machine, and I want to put a nice thick layer of cardboard across the whole entire garden, both gardens. And oh, I got some tomatoes left that I can harvest. I pulled off the tarp and you can see they came off, so I'll grab them too. But mulch this heavily with cardboard and then with wood chips. When I get the wood chipper finished, I'm going to be ordering the parts here soon, and then we will fertilize it. Look at there's some tomatoes. They did almost make it. Look at that. A little bit late in the year, but they tried to make it. So we'll have some fried green tomatoes. We did eat a lot of the cherry tomatoes. They were very productive, so I'll regrow them next year. And yeah, well, you can see, look at this, still flowering. If I was able to maintain the warmth out here, we could keep these going. I'm almost tempted to keep going. I'm almost tempted to just keep covering these peppers. Harvest what's there and keep them growing, see how long we can go. Can't hurt. Those were where the tarp was sloped down, so they got the worst damage. But with the warmth today, 53 degrees, it might be just enough to warm this soil. Might be able to keep these going a little bit longer. It'd be fun to see how long I can grow them. So anyway, got to eradicate everything. Covered all, and destroy what's there. There's my tree bark from, well, every time I split firewood, I keep the tree bark that comes off, and we've been piling it up here. Now that is a nice pile of tree bark, about 5 foot long, 5 foot round, about 4.5, 5 foot round, by about 2 feet high at the middle. And that's going to run through the mulching machine and be used over top of the cardboard that I'm going to mulch onto here. I'm going to hang up my bags, my plastic sheets, and let them dry, and then fold them up. We got a lot of stuff to do clearing up. Now up here on higher ground, I've got a pumpkin I left out. I was letting it finish turning, but it looks like it rotted. That's sad. Okay, I didn't expect that. The pumpkin rotted. Usually people make it to October 31st. Our pumpkin rotted. Up here on higher ground, Mulberry tree is still alive. Alright, so that's going to be beautiful next year. I'm probably going to mulch a little bit more heavily around that before the snow covers the ground. We've got roses. Roses grew up from some roots I brought home from my mom's place. These were my grandma's roses that she gave to my mom, and they planted there. And I brought home some roots and they grew. Over here, oh, wind. Another mulberry, still alive on higher ground, so it doesn't freeze here as bad. The rest of the fruit trees still have their leaves. I'm going to have to mulch heavily around this one. You'd never know I did this year. The weeds grew up, oddly, really thick around this one. Oh no, the deer have been up in here eating, I didn't know that. The deer ate off all the leaves, which won't hurt it now, it's end of the season, but I've got to protect it. It ate some branches. That's all that's left of this tree that's alive, that and those down there. So I don't know what's going to happen next year with that. This tree dropped its leaves finally. And the other mulberry tree is not got much left in it. The cold is doing its job. So I've got to protect this area from deer. I'm going to have to put up some fencing and stop the deer from munching. Been ruining our plants. There you go, guys. Garden update from the Off-Grid Homestead. Here we're in the greenhouse, where the greenhouse is going to be. I've measured out where our grow beds are going to go, and once I get a chance, we're going to be working on that and get this greenhouse up before the spring. It's not going to happen before the snow. It's going to be an ongoing project that I work on throughout the winter. But I want to have the raised grow beds 30 inches high by about 30 inches wide, to a small grow bed in the middle, and walkways 18-24 inches wide down to my aisles. We'll have a U-shaped grow bed, raised, so it's up high, and that way it won't freeze as much, and all that material will be insulation. Also, the decomposing material I use to fill it with, look up hugelkultur, Hugelkultur, will give off warmth as it decomposes, providing fertilizer and warmth to extend the growing season and provide better plants. So that's the plans there, and hopefully I'll still get that going yet this year. So that pretty much wraps up this garden for the year. As I said, I'll get out here and harvest these vegetables, and that'll be it. Look at that, guys. There's some big peppers in here. Bunch of nice peppers. Got more green beans than I had thought. That's more than a meal, because what we do is make a stir fry. Got a whole mess of, they've fallen in here, but we've got a mess of jalapenos, like 20 or so in here. They all fell into the gaps. Bunch of cherry tomatoes. There's some jalapenos down there. There's some banana peppers, but mostly green bell peppers. So not bad considering it's mid-October and we've had freezing going on 4 weeks now. Well, that one's damaged. That one's no good. We've had freezing going on 4 weeks now. So not bad at all considering. Really, really amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna make my own hot chili sauce with these. So maybe I'll do that in a separate video. But, you know, covering your garden like what we've done with plastic has really made a difference. Now here in the greenhouse, it's a whole different story. Even the chamomile is still growing and flowering. So everything here is still doing, well, not everything, but a lot of things here are doing well. The basil has given up. The grapes are dropping their leaves. They're closing up for the season. My chili that was killed by aphids is still, you know, helpless. I've got a chili there. I don't know why they never grew it and did anything in here, but there they are. All the herbs are just incredible in here. All the herbs just really did great in here this year. Now the back half of the garden struggled because there wasn't enough water. I'm going to have a watering system next year to help that. I need to get some water in here now. Some of the plants are wilting, but I have some lettuce and some radishes that are still growing. My popcorn is alive, but I don't think that they're going to make it. They were starting to grow corn cobs but in the ones in pots, but the corn is not going to make it. My aquaponics is growing still, so that did very, very well. Being up higher for one thing, and closer to the house, the food in the aquaponics lab really did well. The fish are alive and well. I may release them. I'm trying to decide what to do yet, but I'm not ready to keep this heated throughout the winter months at this time. I see cats are getting in here and scratching around. Oh, there. Okay, I see I've got to cover that. The cat is climbing up the greenhouse and getting in through the roof and ripping my window screens. Not good at all. Not good at all. I'm going to remove that window screen. He's destroyed this wall, plastic, so I'm going to have to do something about that and cover this opening here, because he's coming in and starting to use this as a litter box, and they all go to the back wall. There's another one. So I'm closing up where they're literally climbing the side of the building, so I'm closing up all the gaps to try to prevent them from getting in here and protect the greenhouse. But they always go to the back corner. Probably another part of the reason it didn't get a chance to grow this year. I've got to close this off, finish closing it off entirely before the cats wreck everything. But there it is. The greenhouse is still growing well, and it is cozy warm in here too. Although the roof isn't finished, it helps. It does help. There you go, guys. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. And this is definitely a part of self-sufficiency, providing our own food late into the season.